Jack Armstrong here for my friends at Post Cereal who are running a really fun contest. Pick up your favorite Post Cereal, hold on to your receipt, enter for your chance to join me in the Breakfast with Jack contest. It's a slam dunk.
Good morning, Jack. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been quite some time, and I'm very grateful that you have the opportunity to come back on the Joe Sports Channel. I hope you and your family are doing fantastic, my friend.
Everybody's great, thank goodness, and just busy with the regular season right now, so a lot of fun.
Well, you want to talk about the regular season. The Raptors are 14-5, second in the Eastern Conference. Nobody thought the Raptors are going to be this good this early in the season. My question to you, Jack, is the Raptors' hot start. What stands out to you the most about this team competing night after night?
I think the thing that really stands out to me is just how together a group it is. There's great chemistry. There's togetherness. There's just a positive vibe. A group of guys that has great respect for each other. They're improving. Obviously, adding a guy like Brandon Ingram gives them an upper tier talent from an offensive perspective, and allows others now to kind of settle into more efficient roles that fit their game, fit their personality. So a lot of the young guys have gotten major minutes over the last few years. I think that helps them now in terms of just being comfortable when they're on the floor. I think you've seen a Scotty Barnes emerge and really take a next step as a player. Emmanuel quickly got off to a tough start, but now he's playing well. They're getting great productivity from Shed and Mamu off the bench, and Pearl's just so solid. So I think when you add it all up, it's a group that is kind of hitting its stride and playing with a lot of confidence right now.
For sure. And it's not just a group. They're competing every night. They're making this comeback, and they're 13-2 in the conference. And when you talk about the conference and you talk about the league they're in, I think they're playing the best basketball than anybody is right now. I know Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers are playing good, but if I wanted to put the Lakers and Raptors, match after match, and those two playing right now, I would pick the Raptors over the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Toronto Raptors, they don't need superstars. They just need a couple stars, and they develop like a Scotty Barnes. They have that development. They have what it takes to win a championship. We know what happened a few years ago. They brought in Kawhi Leonard, and it took its place. So I think the way the Raptors are set up right now, I think this is the best way you can see a championship caliber team in the next couple of years.
Well, yeah, it's going to take some time. Obviously, I mean, they went into the season. Most folks thought that they would be, I thought they'd be improved. I thought they'd have a chance to have a winning season. I think to your point earlier, they're they're definitely ahead of schedule. I don't think anyone saw this coming where they're 14-5.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be some bumps in the road along the way. And, in terms of putting them in the category of a Oklahoma City or a Denver or one of those teams right now, it's going to, there's a lot of hurdles they have to go through, and they have to prove a lot of things as they go along. But surely, as I sit here today, I'm super impressed with what's going on right now. And, as you know, Joe, a big part of this whole thing is just staying healthy. And if you can be relatively healthy, you're going to have a chance in this league to win a lot of games because you're putting your better people out there night in, night out.
The chemistry on the roster looks stronger than ever before. What do you think is driving that connection on and off the court, Jack?
I think having Coach Darko here in his third year, these guys have all overwhelmingly have been here with him for 1, maybe 2 years. You have a few newcomers as well. But I think, to me, I think that's the thing that jumps out is I think there's a continuity, there's a pattern of, this is how we do things, and a standard that's been set, and a complete buy-in, by the way, as well, from players in terms of respecting what the coaching staff's trying to teach right now. So to me, I think that's been a huge positive. Just having consistency in terms of leadership. You've had the same coaching staff now for 3 years, and I think stability is important. And I think too often in our society, everyone's wants change, wants things to happen instantaneously, and I think sometimes things just have to marinate and grow and mature. And to me, I think also you just have younger players starting to have gained experience. They're getting a little bit more cognizant of what it takes to be successful at the pro level. So a lot of those things kind of go hand in hand.
And it's not only hand in hand. You look at Toronto this year, and you look at the Toronto Blue Jays. They were so close of winning that World Series and the championships that we've seen Toronto have, and it's been tough. And the only successful Toronto team that has been the Raptors, and they won it a couple years ago. It's crazy. We think about it now. It's almost 5 years ago. Time goes by so fast. But the chemistry that I love watching this team is they put their heart on the line, on the court, their excitement. The fans are there at the Scotiabank Arena. They're selling out. Your voice is there. You got the hype. Everybody is hyped for this team. I think, as I'm looking right now, the Raptors are going to be a very successful team as long as they keep that coaching staff where it is right now, Jack.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good things going on right now, and as you know, a lot can change real quick. You got to stay healthy but I think if this group can stay healthy, I think they have a lot of the ingredients in place to have a successful season. Now, what that means, what that looks like in terms of win-loss, what that looks like in terms of playoff performance, I have no idea. It's so early in the year. So many things can happen. So it's hard to predict any of that. But right now, a lot of things are clicking, a lot of things are connecting, and to me, I think that makes it fun. And what's interesting, you mentioned the Blue Jays run. The last few years, I would say the Raptors reached a point of kind of irrelevant. It was kind of like the vibe was gone. Things were kind of just people were kind of resigned to the fact that it's going to be a while. And, so suddenly now this burst on the scene this season has rejuvenated a lot of the enthusiasm that the fans have for the team. And to me, I think that's a sensational development. And you can see and you can feel it that, clearly there's a tremendous following that people have for the team. And, that those fans that have been kind of sitting by the wayside, just waiting, are all back on the bandwagon, that's for sure.
Yeah. How has it been exciting at the Scotiabank Arena? I know I watched a couple of games. I've been really busy this year, but has it been busy? How's the crowd these days?
Well, it continues to get better. If I had to compare it from opening night to now, the level of intensity, enthusiasm, excitement has grown by leaps and bounds. People are getting to the arena earlier. They're in their seats earlier. They're more active in terms of watching the game. People are more active in terms of singing the anthem. You name it. So it's definitely a really cool vibe. And to me, I think that's a significant step in the right direction.
I've been to pretty much every sporting event, and you met my cousin Bilal Booni, plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And I've been to soccer, hockey, football, but I've never been to a Raptors game. And I only live 2 hours away from the Scotiabank Arena. I'm always there watching the Leafs or I'm watching wrestling. So it's an insult to myself. I haven't been to a Raptors game and I haven't met you. And I gotta make a promise to go down there and meet you and have a coffee and watch the Raptors, because I seriously am very, very, very upset that I haven't been down to a Toronto Raptors game. Like, people say, how come you haven't been to a Raptors game?
Well, you got to, this is, if there's ever a year you're going to decide to make the trip, this would be the year to come, because I think the group is exciting and the vibe in the arena is a lot of fun. It's a great place. And I think, anybody I know that goes to a Raptor game for the first time, they leave and they go, wow, what a great vibe it is. What a fun night it is. And I think they do a great job at the arena making it a really fun, cool experience for people. So hopefully you can make it to a game at some point, Joe.
Now, if I come to a Raptors game this year, I have to sit behind you. That's the only way I'm going to sit. I have to sit behind you. I have
Well,
to.
I don't
You
have
got
I
to
don't have
connect,
that kind of
yeah,
I don't have that kind of juice. I'm not that important. But
you're very important,
uh,
Jack. The Booney believers have a question. Which player this year has surprised you the most so far?
well, I would not know about surprise, but I would say impress me because, I would say Mamu, Sandro. I remember watching him play at Seton Hall when he was in college. Played a little bit with the Milwaukee Bucks. Played a little bit with the San Antonio Spurs. But kind of was an unknown a little bit in terms of when he would get extended minutes, what he would do on a nightly basis. I think he's been a huge story for them in terms of why their bench has been productive. He was a great pickup for them. And obviously, I think a Jamal Shed has taken another step. So those would be but definitely Mamu would be the guy that I think has kind of burst on the scene where everyone's looking around going, all right, what's this guy all about? And now you can see it. He can shoot. He can put the ball on the floor, attack the basket. He can score around the basket. He's a great competitor. He's a good player. And then I think Shed all those minutes that he got last year. And obviously, I think when they decided to move Davion Mitchell to Miami, and by the way, Mitchell's played really well in Miami. I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I think it's given Shed the opportunity to play extended minutes, and I think sometimes even when he plays with Quickly, those two guys are very effective together. So those would be probably the two guys that really jump off the page at me.
And I got to say, Scotty Barnes, this season he's averaging 19.5 points and almost 8 rebounds and close to 6 assists. And I think he's an incredible player. And a lot of people don't talk about Scotty Barnes. I always listen to these podcasts and people that go on. I think he's a very underrated player. And I think Scotty Barnes has the potential to be the leader on that team, like a Kawhi Leonard, down a couple years down the future. Maybe that's too early to call.
Well, no, he's had a terrific year, and you could look at him right now and say, man, this guy could be NBA All Defense. He's tremendous in terms of his length and athleticism and quickness and ability to cover all the positions and how hard he's playing. So to me, I'm super impressed with how he has improved on a yearly basis as a pro and the significant step he has taken this year. So, yeah, there's a lot to like and no doubt. I think he's more of a known quantity because he was an NBA Rookie of the Year. He's made the All-Star game. So when you ask me about, kind of who surprised you a little bit, I'm not as surprised about that with Scotty because I think he has it in him. And now it's all coming out. Whereas, you don't know about some of the guys that are in that second unit. So, and again, having a guy like Brandon Ingram on your roster really makes a difference for the other guys because he attracts so much attention. He's such a tremendous talent that it loosens things up for the other guys and it really allows them to play more to their strengths.
Well, not only that, he has experience and he's the veteran on that court, and that's what you need. You need a leader on that team, and I was so really happy that they brought Brendan Ingram to Toronto, and that's what Toronto needs. Toronto needs a couple veterans that can learn from those youngsters, and they can, start driving and start, making these comebacks and making the Toronto Raptors back on the mat. It's funny that just came to my mind. Do you remember Andre Berniani?
Yes.
Any word on? Do you ever hear anything about him? Because I don't hear anything about him.
I don't. I know he's back in Italy, but I've totally lost track of what he's doing. Obviously, he's retired as a player. So, and it's interesting, you bring up Andrea. You look at the style of play today compared to maybe when he came in the league.
Yeah.
His game would fit this era better than the era he played in.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and He was an incredibly talented guy. Unfortunately, just sometimes it never clicked for him.
He was when he first started with Toronto, he was really good. He was like the Ricky Romero of the Toronto Blue Jays. He was the starting rotation pitcher, and then something happened to him, and I don't know what it was. If it was to do with anything with family, or just he lost that talent. And I used to be a huge fan of Bernion. Every time that 3-pointer, and he would hit it. And then for a while, he could never hit it. And I think he got traded, right? Is that what happened at the end?
Yeah, he got traded to the Knicks. I mean, no, Andre was a good player. Andre was a good player, and as I said, I think some of it had to do with fit and the style of play that was in place when he played versus maybe how he would fit now. And again, I think he would fit, whether it be in Toronto or any other NBA team. I think he'd be a much better fit in this era in terms of his skill set and what he brought to the table, and maybe what some of his challenges were as a player as well. But no, Andre was a very talented guy, and he had a good career.
He did. I do have a couple more questions left because I know we're running out of time. Do the Raptors finish top 5 in the Eastern Conference?
Well, right now, as we chat today, Joe, they're the 2 seed, but there's so much that could go on here as we go along, and there's so little separating teams right now, whether it be in the top 5 or 6 through 10 or whatever. So it's I would say it's a little too early to call what exactly is going to happen. But to me, I think the thing that jumps off the page more than anything else is that they've developed a style and they've developed a personality and an identity, and to me, that will help them a lot in terms of when they go through some setbacks and some challenges. I think you could always revert back to, okay, this is who we are, this is how we play, this is how we have to play. And I think that's going to help them get through a lot of that. So to where they finish, I really don't know at this point. Again, there's so many variables, and it's such a long season. But here I am in Charlotte today. This will be game 20 tonight. And literally, I mean, the official quarter poll, you're almost basically 25% done with the season. So you can start kind of formulating thoughts and observations in terms of what you think of a team. And I think this team has a chance to have a really good year.
You're in Charlotte tonight, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Is Charlotte's arena nice? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. And Raptors play here tonight. So looking forward to it.
It is. My last question for the Raptors is, if you had to give one message to Raptor fans about this season so far, what would it be, Jack, directly from you?
I would say get on board. I think this is a group that you can genuinely like and root for. I would say get on board. This is a fun team. I think if you really kind of watch them, they're going to grow on you. You're going to like them. They play hard. They play together. They play for each other. It's a good group. And so to me, I would just say get on board. This is a fun team. And, I don't think you should be surprised anymore by what you're seeing. I wouldn't say you should expect championships from this group. I would just say I think you're going to see an incredibly competitive team that's maturing and growing and lays it on the line every night, which is a lot of fun.
And not only that, I hope I continue to watch you for many more moons and many more years. I'm not sure when you're going to hang out those boots, but Jack, you keep the National Basketball Association (TSN) very entertaining. And I told you this before 5 years ago when I first met you, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you every time you're on my podcast. Is you make the game exciting when you say get that garbage out of here. And I remember one time Bismack Biyombo slapped almost LeBron James in the face, and you say, get that garbage out of here. I'd love to hear you say that one more time before we end the show.
Well, I got a game tonight, so I got to save my voice a little bit right now, early in the day. But But hopefully, I'm saying that a lot tonight on the game. Hopefully, there's a lot of Raptor blocks and highlights, and they find a way to steal a game here in Charlotte tonight. So, but Joe, thanks for having me on, and
Anytime.
really appreciate it.
And Jack,
have
the
a great holiday season.
anytime the Raptors are playing well, and your Buffalo Bills need to start playing better too, my friend.
I hear you.
Take care, my friend. I appreciate every time you take the opportunity to come on the show.
You got it, Joe. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.